When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Do you have discomfort in your legs? Varicose veins can affect not only how your legs look, but how they feel. Symptoms of varicose veins include pain, swelling, aching, heaviness, and fatigue. Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville can diagnose and treat your varicose veins with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Diagnosis and treatment is covered by most insurances. Call 256-715-7151 to schedule your free screening. Go to bestveincarehuntsville.com.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
This hour of The Blitz is brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Online at FlemingHSV.com. Welcome to the evolution of sports radio.
You see, in this industry, just like in life, everything evolves.
Call 256-576-4977 to make your audible for The Blitz.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
It's the Afternoon Blitz. Here are your hosts, Smokey, Captain Cool, and the Bandi Man.
Hello and welcome back to a Thirsty Thursday here in No Man's Land. Welcome to the Afternoon Blitz on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, Captain Cool.
Oh my goodness!
It's Captain Cool.
Someone lose a grenade?
Heck yeah. Gets me in the mood every single time. It's good to be on this mic as well. Find us online at theblitzsportsradio.com, on Facebook at The Blitz Sports Radio, and on Twitter at @TheBlitz_sports. And while you're at it, follow us on Twitch and YouTube at WZZN-TV. If you want to get to the YouTube page a little quicker, you can look it up, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. It'll get instantly into it. You guys are going to make me want to jump off of a high dive and into a pool that doesn't have any water into it. So there you go. We're right back into it, having a great time. You know who is back, but I gotta wait until I can introduce him because it's a big day here, okay? If you want to join in on any of the conversations today, call us at 256-576-4977. And this first hour is presented by Fleming Roofing and Restoration. And you know what you're doing, okay? You're live hanging with the chillest crew in sports radio. To my left, welcoming back one of the three pillars of this show, the Bandi Man Bailey Lowry.
Oh, I love hearing all those bandicoots falling back into the pit.
Welcome back.
Oh, it's good to be back in studio.
Oh, yeah. You had quite the time in Montana, didn't you?
Yeah, and honestly, y'all did a fantastic job holding down the fort and keeping the show running while I was away. And thank y'all for keeping it up while I was absent. I miss being here.
Yeah, you must not have listened to all the play-by-plays because I definitely did you a disservice. Okay, the stories I was talking about were the most basic, most generic stories in sports, maybe esports gaming, just because I had to just kind of just crawl my way back out of that hole because I just don't know as much about gaming as you do, Bandi. Nobody does it better.
Hey, that's all right.
Yeah.
Because you know what? No one knows. I certainly don't know as much about pro football as you do.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Same with anime. I mean,
okay, wait a minute.
I'm just joking. We're both scholars when it comes to that, but the real scholar here in the studio is the guy behind the glass, spinning the tracks, keeping us on the airways, and helping us out whenever we need him, because he's always reliable, and his name is Smokey my Concho.
Smokey!
What's up?
I got a problem with you.
You always got a problem. What's up?
I got a problem with you.
With me?
Yes, with you.
With me?
With you. I got some problems, big time.
Oh, no.
So here's what happened.
No,
So
we're going right into it. We're not
You
even
damn right we are. I have made sure that Bailey has not known about this just because
Okay.
I want genuine reaction.
All right.
And now it's time to let the cat out of the bag, let this all through so then we can have a nice thirsty Thursday because you have made me extremely thirsty today with all the crap that you
I'm extremely thirsty as well after last night's hullabaloo.
So, anyway, my normal Monday through Friday is I go in and on our sister station, 97.7 The Zone, I produce our morning show, Talking Ball, from 7 to 9.
Great stuff.
Which means I got to get up it's with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond, who also does the recruiting blitz, which I will get to. Anyway, I get up at 5:30 in the morning, get ready, get here about 6:30, have a nice little easy morning and all that.
Yeah.
Well, I was really affected after the show yesterday. I was trying to get a second wind in, and it just never was coming. Caffeine didn't help.
Dang.
Eating didn't help. The carbs did not help.
No.
Nothing helped.
I know that feeling.
So then 10:30 rolls around, and I'm like at that point to where it's like, all right, if all I need is 20 more seconds, and I am out. And then I will wake up at 5:30, and everything will be fine. Then my phone rings.
Just one little ring.
Oh, no.
I look at the phone, and it's Captain Cool.
Yes, sir.
It's actually put or programmed in my phone that way, too. And I'm like, oh, God, what did he get himself into? So I'm like, yeah, what's up? It's like, Mike, you can't believe this, man. I'm like, what's going on? It's like, oh, well, you're going to get into the story on this. And you explain to me what's going on. And then I'm just like, John, I have to get up at 5:30 in the morning. I do not need to. You can tell me this in the morning. I was right there to sleep. I was ready to go. If I would have stayed up till 12:30 and couldn't gone back to sleep, I'd be cussing your name this morning.
I'm so sorry.
But anyway, so what the holy hell happened last night?
So I will say this first. I am very sorry, but you kind of knew what was going to happen, all right?
I did.
You guys sent me up, all right? I talked about
We didn't
this.
send you.
Okay. Okay, wait a minute.
What are you about to say?
Okay. I'm just going to say, going forward, I believe you're just telling him about a story. Like, you called him at like 3 in the morning, like, we got to talk about this. Oh,
you keep hitting over that dang drink, that sweet tea or whatever you're drinking.
I think the lid's loose.
Oh, no, that's not
I'm
good.
trying to tighten it.
But no, okay, so yesterday during the show, I was really hyping up, I was about to take a little trip, have a nice little time in the shag wagon, and, maybe just spend the night down here in Huntsville, the great city of Huntsville. Well, I learned there might be a little bit of a problem, something in the back of my head that was kind of scratching at me, something that I kind of had a feeling was going to go awry, okay? So I'm talking to these guys, talking to the Chad, I'm talking to the Smokey. I'm bringing up going and, having a nice little time, parking my little shag wagon at the Lookout Mountain, kind of close to your house, that little area?
Yeah.
Little did I know, that place is extremely popular. This is the funny stuff. I didn't tell you anything about this.
It's very popular.
It reminded me of, like, the cartoons of how every teen and their mom goes straight up to the mountain and just, like, looks out and... There was just so many people just up there.
It's a beautiful view.
It is.
That's the reason why it's a makeout spot.
It's wonderful, and it makes sense because for every town has one of those, and in the city of Huntsville, there's gonna be a lot more people going to them than what I'm used to whenever I go to my typical makeout spot, and there's nobody there. But that's besides the fact, because I get up on this mountain. Okay, we set up, me and my girlfriend having a great time. Okay, we open up the back, we're eating this pizza and stuff like that. We just went to Planet Fitness. We had ourselves a little bit of a night. But now it's time to settle down and go to bed, get ready for sleepy time. Maybe watch an episode of Death Note or something. Yeah. So we have the back open. People start coming up out of nowhere to our lefts and rights. We can't see them because the windows are really tinted. So we're just vibing inside the shag wagon. Okay. Few hours pass. Okay, we go for a little walk. We look out on the city, having a wonderful little moment. When we walk back, sit in the car, and then maybe like 10 minutes later, gunfire. Gunfighter. And if you want to see Bandi's reaction, make sure you are following us on WZZN on Twitch and YouTube. But yeah. Gunfire, all right? And to me, I'm just like, oh, somebody's up in the mountains. These people got a lot of money. They're just shooting off their weapons. But I'm thinking, like, at the same time, why are they doing it this late in the day? I mean, maybe it's just rich people. I don't know. Maybe somebody just wants to shoot off their guns. Summer, my girlfriend, on the other hand, she says, I don't like guns. I already knew this, okay? So she doesn't like guns, and she's a little scared now, okay? So I'm just like, don't worry about it. Sounds like it's far off. Then we hear another gun, and it sounds like it's from the same area. It sounds like it's of a higher caliber, all right? Because it's a little louder. It seems a little bit closer, but I still think that it's, far off. I don't think this is anything gang-related, because it would be just nonstop gunfire, It wouldn't stop and then start again. So I think somebody was just shooting off their guns and stuff. And then I go to, like, close the back because Summer's starting to get a little, like, she doesn't want to be there anymore. And we see some cars. They just start going. Like, people start leaving. And I'm like, okay, maybe something's up. I don't know. Maybe it's something to get people out of there so there's not people spending the night up there. So that's what I was taking into account. And then we heard another gunshot, a bunch of gunshots, and then we just leave, okay? We're just, like, done with this place. Everybody leaves at this point, okay? We're going down the mountain. I'm just like, oh, well, I feel like something was going to happen up there. Everything was going too well. And then I call Chad. He doesn't pick up. And then I'm like, well, the next person that knows about where I'm at is Smokey, just in case I get killed. Somebody's going to know about what happened. So I let him know. Sadly, I do wake him up. Okay. So then we're thinking about this. We're like, where are we going to stop for the night? Okay. Last time I stayed with the Trash Pandas, that's in Madison and all that stuff. It was nice. It was a great time. And then I felt safe there as well. So this time I was like, okay, I'm tired. It's 10-something. I was very, just slumped after a long day of work. So then we're like, okay, fine. We'll just stop at the station. Stop at the station, quick night. We'll already be there so I can get up, instantly start working for tomorrow's show and stuff. So it seems fine, okay? The lighting's perfect, it's dark in there, so we can kind of get a nice little, relaxing thing. I think the problem went wrong whenever we opened up the back window to the expedition and it was facing the road, and I was too tired to even want to adjust where the vehicle was. But we had this set up to where it looks like somebody's definitely spending the night inside of a car, okay? I will say it was a little embarrassing, a little on my end. A few hours go by. We're passing out at this point, okay? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I wake up once. I'm just like, dang, my fan went off. That sucks. And I'm like, how am I going to get back to sleep? I go back to sleep pretty quickly, actually. Very uncomfortable night, by the way. It was very warm. A little too warm. It was like I don't know why it had to be like a summertime night. And then I'm just chilling. I fall back asleep. And then I don't know if this is a dream or not, but I hear knock, knock, knock. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I am shirtless, by the way. I don't have covers over me because I am so hot just in this night, there's no wind at all. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? The guy says, Huntsville Police Department. I'm like, yo, it's happening.
Oh, no.
And I was talking about this stuff. I was like, if I spend the night up on that mountain, somebody's probably going to show up. I was told about some cops that like to stay up there.
Yeah, they do.
And now I'm just sitting there and I'm just thinking, what's going to happen here? So I get up. I'm like, 1 second, let me throw on a shirt. Okay, I don't want to, open up my house without having a shirt on. So this is pretty much my home. This is my humble abode. Okay. I open up the door. This guy's shining a light in my face. I'm just like, 3 o'clock in the morning, this guy's disturbing my sleep. Okay. And he's like, yeah, the reason I'm talking to you tonight. And then 2 other cops pull over. Oh. And they're just talking to me now. And I'm just like, I'm just startled. I'm just like, well, I've never had somebody wake me up like that in the middle of the night. And I knew that it was probably going to happen. So I talked to the guy. He was, asking about everything. He was asking if I had an ID and all that stuff, what I was doing. And I was just like, yeah, I got a show in the morning. I got to do it. I got to kind of stay here. I was trying not to, have a trip going back and forth every single day. So he asked for my ID. I'm like, I don't know where my wallet is at the time. So I just told him, like, all that other stuff.
Oh, boy.
And then he had to get other information from Summer. And then I was just sitting there just, like, still a little shaken, from the whole situation. And then the guy was just, like, talking to me. I was, like, being cool, talking to him about everything. And, after all of it's said and done, he was just saying, like, hey, yeah, if it happens again, I'm going to have to take you guys to jail. But right now, we believe in second chances, okay? And I hope he's listening. I didn't tell him exactly what station I was on, but I was with 97.7. I probably shouldn't have even said that, but at that point I was just like, I'm too deep, I got to get out of this. So the guy's just like, all right, I believe in second chances, and he just said, just don't do it again. If we catch you again, you'll go to jail and stuff. And then these other guys, he was kind of just like waiting for the 10-4 on the other people on the other side of the mic or the walkie-talkie. And then they were like, well, were you sleeping all right at least? And I said, I don't know if I was asleep or not whenever he started tapping on that glass, but either way, I was freaking out, okay? And then those guys were pretty cool. I gotta say, they were pretty chill. And I hop in the front seat, and I'm just thinking to myself, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I haven't gotten a second of good sleep. I think I'm just gonna go home. So I tell Summer, you just stay in the back of the car. You just lay down if you want, and we're gonna head on back home, and we're gonna get some nice sleep. And that's exactly what we did. We went all the way home. Passed out. I fell asleep like freaking rock. And then we woke up. You know what? I had a fine morning. Got prepared for the wedding that's going on. And then, you know what? We came here and we are chilling. Okay, still a little spooked from last night, but that's what I had to go through last night, Bandi.
So that's how your last night went down. Hold on. How did the big Tom react to all this?
Hold on. Wait. I got questions first.
Ooh. Okay, give me the questions. Okay.
1.
Yeah.
Do you have keys to this building?
Yes, I do have keys to the building.
2, what was your biggest complaint about being in that car?
It was very stuffy and it was just very warm.
How are you feeling right now?
I'm cool. I'm chill. But like so I brought this idea up. I was like, if something goes awry, we're going into that building. And I didn't really want to do that because I didn't know if I had the permission to even go and sleep in a freaking building that, you know, isn't really mine. I know it's the business's, but it's all just like, I don't know. And then I ended up just, whenever that happened, whenever it went down, I was like, I ain't going to that building. I'm just going home. I was awake for the next freaking hour. I was just like, I got to think about this on my ride home.
Whoa. So you were stuffy, you were hot, you were in a place that within 2 minutes of walking distance is air conditioned with a nice shag carpet right here and the television.
I brought it up. I brought the idea up. I know. I probably should have came in here, but at the same time, I was just so shooketh that I had to get out of here.
You should have done it before.
Now I know. So next time, it's going to happen.
You knucklehead.
Hey.
You freaking moron.
It was a part of the experience. I wanted it to go down. And Bailey, my dad came in, okay, and he was like, why are you guys here? And I said, well, you won't believe it. Well, we actually got the police on us. I was like, I had to run in with the police. And he was like, oh. And then he talked about it on the show. He called me, and I was talking about it a little bit. And I previewed it a little bit and told people where they could listen to the full story. And now they know the whole story, guys. We didn't die. We didn't get arrested. We didn't get shot at by some random hobo up on the... Well, I guess we're the hobos, but any random mountain person. But one thing I will say is, you cannot sleep in your car in the city of Huntsville.
Yeah, don't do it. We've been kind of cracking down on people sleeping in cars lately.
But you had this.
I know.
You had this.
Yeah.
You had this nice carpet, which, you know, I have spent many a time sleeping at a radio station. Not this particular one, but at the last one I was at, they have couches.
Yeah.
Bandi knows. Bandi worked over there.
Yep. They did have I remember plenty of people would sleep on this.
Jeez.
Couches for Sunday morning church service.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
That was the worst. The absolute worst. But anyway, you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Rose Scholar. The captain's at CPT Cool 420. Bandy's at B Larry 2016. The station's at the Blitz _sports. And Captain, as much of an idiot you were last night.
I asked for it. It was a part of the experience of sleeping in the car, all right? I wanted to feel every second of that, okay? And I really did, okay? I really did.
So how badly does your woman want to slap you?
At the moment, she was like, I mean, she didn't want to slap me. She was just like, hell yeah, you know, he got us out of a ticket. He got us out of everything. I took that situation and ran with it. I woke up. I didn't know if I was dreaming, tripping, or just like alive at the moment. And I was feeling all of it at once. And I got through that conversation very, very perfectly. I even remember my social security number because I didn't have my wallet on me at the time. So.
And then you drove without your wallet.
No, I had the wallet in the car, but it was on the other side of the car, so I didn't know where it was.
Okay, then you drove back to Tennessee without your wallet?
On my way back.
Instead of staying in the studio.
On my way back, I did pass another officer going a little bit over the speed limit. I was like, I don't know how to look at like officers now on. I don't know if I can sleep soundly from now on, okay? Because I don't know if somebody's going to come and tap on my window. It was crazy night, guys. Crazy night.
Oh, all right. Anyway, we've got a fantastic show today. Crawdad's going to come on at 3 o'clock. The man that does Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff for Army football. He had Monken, the head coach for Army football, on last night. And granted, they're on a bye week. We'll get his thoughts about what Monken said, as well as how Army's taking the bye week. And plus, I got to rag on him a little bit since I'm playing him in fantasy after he had the heartbreak of what he had last week with our fantasy football league. Oh, that's just, If I lose to your dad like that, somebody help me. If Tennessee loses this weekend, somebody help me. I may have to seriously go to a mental institution. This is the longest damn week I've ever had in sporting, or in my sporting fandom.
It's funny.
But anyway, Captain, take us away.
All right. Well, today is Thursday, a thirsty Thursday at that, and I will be pretty thirsty later on because I'm going to a little bit of a cocktail party. But it's September 22nd, 2022, and here's what you need to know about what's going on Blitz today. Okay, last night was one of the longest nights of my life, being topped off with a run-in with the cops. We all know about that story now. I get the hell out of Dodge, and it was for the best, okay? Moving on, a couple of players got hit with a 3-game suspension on Wednesday for violating the NFL's substance abuse policy. I don't know what these players took to deserve this ban, but the players in question are DeMonte Casey for the Steelers, and my boy Bryson Hopkins being in the news out of the Los Angeles Rams. So that one is pretty interesting. I didn't know exactly.
Turkey Bowl alumnus.
Yeah, I'm getting to that, but it was he's the first player from the Abraham Turkey Bowl to actually make it to the league, and now he's the first Turkey Bowl veteran to make it to the league and violate the substance abuse policy. So he's doing things over there, He's in the news at least, so that's a big story.
He won me a good bit of cash during the Super Bowl with his 4 receptions.
Yeah. That's what he's got. I mean, that's what he's got to show for it.
That's what he had in the Super Bowl. So you know what? I mean, he was the perfect low ball play.
Whenever he comes back, I want him to make sure he's just focused on one thing, and that's just getting better at football and trying to get on the field so he can really show his worth, because he is a great player. Okay. There's just little setbacks like this. I mean, at least I'm not the only one that got embarrassed by the law over these last few days. But moving on, Joe Burrow decided to delete his social media accounts after the 0-2 start on the season. Burrow said, quote, "What's great is I don't have Twitter or Instagram right now, so I've seen none of it." Okay, he's talking mostly about the fan reaction. Okay, and then he goes on to say, quote, "We're focused on what's going on in here." Okay, I'm sure it's not a very good reaction, but I think I'll be different, or there will be different reactions going forward, okay? And this is all to the fan reaction, which obviously you're going to get some hate. The Browns have been getting hate forever, so, I mean, there you go. I mean, play good, you get good reactions. Play bad, you get bad reactions, okay? Moving on, Auburn might be in a little bit of a problem moving forward in this season with 2 quarterbacks that did not come out of the Penn State game unscathed. First off, TJ Finley had to come out of the game after hurting his right shoulder and is unclear for the SEC's opener against Missouri. And then Zach Calzada, actually, this was reported a little bit before the show, thank you, Bandi, is undergoing a surgery that will leave him unable to play for the rest of the season. Auburn, it's all going downhill for Auburn. Very quick.
Speaking of that, I wanted to bring this up here because Justin Ferguson, who goes on our sister station with Tom Abraham, 97.7 The Zone on the Tom Abraham Show, which, by the way, if you want to hear Smokey in the chat tomorrow, I'm filling in for Tom while you two are gone.
Nice.
So I'm having a hell of a day tomorrow. I have 5 different radio shows I'm going to be a part of.
They got you working all day, Smokey.
Get that overtime.
Anyway, he brings up that that Harsin was asked by a member of AL.com if quarterback Zach Calzada is 100% in terms of his health right now. This was the 19th, which is, 3 days ago?
Yeah.
So Harsin goes, "You know something I don't?" Reporter, "No."
All right.
No, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, and then he's competed like everybody else. Those guys every single week get those opportunities, and we try and play the best players.
Well, he's not going to get those opportunities now. Hopefully the surgery goes well.
Well, looks like it's just going to be all on TJ Finley this year.
Well, I mean, that's
No,
if they can.
no. Robbie Ashford's starting.
Yeah,
Robbie Ashford's. Oh,
yeah. TJ Finley's going to be out for the SEC opener
He's got a
against
shoulder
Missouri.
injury.
So he's
Bandi, you missed a whole hell of a lot.
I did.
There was a lot going on. While
I
you were
did on
gone.
Saturday and Sunday. We did not have good service up there.
It's all right. Hey,
But-
enjoy your time.
But, oh my gosh, Robbie Ashford.
Yeah.
I'm praying for Auburn fans. I feel, prayers up.
Right now, it's
Big breasts.
everybody is already assuming it's not an if, it's a win.
Yeah.
And it could be as soon as after this game.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are looking at that bye week. I got to check buyout numbers. I got to see if he gets a buyout discount sometime this year.
Yeah. All right.
While I'm doing that, you two keep on.
All right. Well, I got one more thing to talk about that we'll cover kind of later on in the show. Is we've learned some information about the new Splinter Cell remake and how Ubisoft will remake the story for a modern day audience. There's a lot of speculations that can go into that. I know the game back in the day was pretty solid. I don't remember how the campaign was, but maybe there's some things in there that they really needed to change, and they just couldn't go without changing the whole franchise or the whole story altogether. So we'll take a little look at that during the play-by-play later. I'm kind of interested in what the changes will be, but it will be kind of cool to see a little bit of a new thing out of Splinter Cell, Bandi. I know you're looking forward to talking about that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward because there's another game that did a recent take on Sam Fisher, so maybe looking forward to this remake. I'm kind of hoping they take it in that direction.
Yeah, and then later on in the show, we'll be talking about a truck that flipped and poured out a lot of nice, tasty drinks, because it is a Thirsty Thursday. And then we'll be covering the Browns versus Steelers tonight, and what will be of Mitchell Trubisky after tonight. It's going to be interesting to see. And then since it is technically my last day on the show this week, we're going to have a little top 10 list going on.
Okay, wait, for now.
For now.
Temporarily.
Okay, just I'm going to be out for tomorrow. That's about it. But make sure you guys don't touch that dial, because it's all coming up.
Joe Flacco.
I'm going to do it. Make sure you don't touch that dial, guys. Stop playing the sounders, please. You're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
I'm a firefighter.
A teacher.
I'm a farmer. I'm a barber.
A waitress.
A mom. We're all part of your community. Every day we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good,
others not so much.
But that's life. It's when you experience a moment of uncertainty. Something or someone's behavior that doesn't seem quite right.
These are the moments to take a pause.
Because if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not.
It's not about paranoia
or being afraid.
It's about standing up and protecting our communities.
One detail at a time.
Because a lot of little details can become a pattern.
We
trust our instincts.
Just like you should.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
Renowned sports artist Daniel A. Moore has teamed with master sculptor David Grieco to create Finish, the first in a line of limited edition bronzes. See the artist's work on Finish now at newlifeart.com. Finish captures Kenyon Drake's dive into the end zone after his 95-yard kickoff return in the 2016 National Championship game. Available in 3 sizes with the artist and Kenyon Drake signatures cast into each piece. Pre-casting prices are available at newlifeart.com. Hurry, this offer won't last long.
Listen to the wind blow, watch the sun rise.
Ooh. Welcome back to the Afternoon Blitz, everybody. I'm your host, the Bandi Man, a.k.a. Bailey Lowry. Oh,
let's go! He's back!
But you're listening to the Afternoon Blitz here on the Tennessee Valley... Oh, hit my mic. On the Blitz Sports... on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Network. Here,
Rusty.
joined on my...
He's rusty.
Little rusty. Joined on my right by Captain Cool, John Abraham.
Hello.
And making fun of me, but keeping us on the air behind the glass, Smokey Mike Huncho.
You know, with the way Captain Cool is being a moron. No offense, Captain Cool.
No, it's all right. None taken.
Because the one thing is that I've had moronic moments like that. Bandi probably has had more. Bandi's young. Well, younger.
Younger.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's just, we all do dumb stuff.
Definitely
especially in our early 20s.
Yeah, definitely wasn't the coolest moment in my life, but go on, Bandi.
But if you want to call into the show, you can at 256-576-4977. And you can follow us on Twitter and watch us on Twitter at the Blitz_sports, Facebook at the Blitz Sports Radio. And you can follow me at BLowry2016, Captain Cool at CPTCool420, and Smokey Mike Huncho at Rose Scholar.
Logo.
Now, Warzone 2. Not Warzone 2. Modern Warfare 2.
Hey.
Open beta. Second weekend is going to be going live this weekend for PC and Xbox Early Access. We got some good quality of life updates for some fighting games and the Splinter Cell remake. That's all coming up here on E Play by Play.
Not so crusty after all.
Time to catch up on esports with E Play by Play with the Bandi Man.
So, the Capcom Fighting Collection, which is 12 ports of classic fighting games that you can all play online, is getting a big update this month, and it's going to add visible hitboxes as well as some other good quality of life changes. So, the 2 largest improvements for the more serious players are the inclusion of viewable hitboxes in training mode and the card number of indicator for online connection statuses. Thank you. Yeah. I was tired of not seeing the connection of who I was playing against, like the actual ping number. So you could have gone from a really good connection or to a really bad one, and you would have never known. But now we get ping indicator, so nice. Thank goodness. But the visual hitboxes is a big update and good quality of life because, again, for training mode, kind of like how I brought up yesterday when I called in, is that it just allows you to receive more information that you wouldn't have otherwise gotten.
Yeah.
So what this means, you can see exactly how far your moves are extending out, where exactly you can get hit out of it, where exactly it's going to hit your opponent, and you can see how long it takes to recover. So there's just more vital information if you want to improve quickly at the game.
Yeah, I really think it's a great idea because it's like peeling back the onions or the layers of a video game to where the players who don't have any part in development or anything like that can actually get to see like the background of it. You know, they get to see how the hitboxes are for each character, and they get that inside scoop that you wouldn't usually get in other games. So I like it. Very good.
But this update is going to be coming on September 27th, so be on the lookout for that. And now the Splinter Cell remake that you brought up a little earlier in the What's Cool. And that, again, they are going to be looking to update the story for, quote, a modern day audience. Now, they said, quote, using the first Splinter Cell game as our foundation, we are rewriting and updating the story for our modern day audience. Excuse me. We want to keep the spirit and themes of the original game while exploring our characters and the world to make them more authentic and believable. Now, what direction I'm hoping they go with this, because there's another game that they said they were going to be kind of updating the story, and we haven't really heard much from it. Not of the Old Republic remake. We haven't really heard much news from that lately. But what I'm hoping they do with the Splinter Cell remake is that there was another game that kind of did a reimagining of Sam Fisher, and that was Rainbow Six Siege. They released him as an operator called Zero, and he had like a whole new look, this kind of dope jacket that was kind of like puffy and a vest at the same time. But I'm hoping they kind of take that design from Siege and kind of craft this new story around that.
Okay.
So maybe it can kind of be like a remake as well as a little bit of a reimagining as well.
It could be a full-on revamp, and I think that'd be cool to, even if they don't do that where they show just like the Rainbow Six Siege version of him, like they go and follow his story, like that's the actual character. As long as they have that skin in the game, I mean that's more than enough to make players happy. At least I would feel like it would be.
Yeah, but I mean going in a different direction with the story, I feel like with this kind of character, I mean, this could be good because they, quote, want to do a new and compelling narrative experience for a new audience of Splinter Cell fans. So this could be hinting at they might be using this design, or they might just scrap it all together and just kind of go with something completely different.
So is this revamping or remaking the 2002 Splinter Cell game?
Yes, the original Splinter Cell.
So yeah, I feel like you can't, with this game, it being a remake and all that stuff, it's not like Halo where the story is like iconic all the way through. With this one, it's just like they want to update the story to where it can match how good the graphics are, okay? They want it to be like nowadays media instead of, back in the day, 2002 video game stories were lacking quite a bit, okay? But I just hope they don't do what people want. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, or like whenever they remastered that, they didn't want to cut out like the content from the No Russian mission and stuff like that. I don't want them to cut out any of that stuff. Whatever stuff could be a little sensitive to a certain demographic, it's still a part of the game, and it's still kind of a big deal of why people like it so much, because it can cross those boundaries, but at the same time have a stellar story to boot.
I know, it's kind of like when you look at the way games have really evolved, even really over the past decade, is that you get a lot more focused on story and really trying to tell like a compelling narrative. Like you get a lot more games now that are really just kind of like visual novels.
Yeah.
That you're just really experiencing like a movie.
Yeah, which I really like that.
Yeah, and none of that was really around like in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, even really going into the 2010s.
There were I would say there were some games, but I feel like every single narrative driven game back then just didn't have the, I guess, abilities to show off like a movie quality level game, where Legend of Zelda had a story and stuff. But I mean, you can't just think of it and be like, oh, that's like a movie. Whereas you think about games like Detroit, the Become Human and stuff like that. When you look at that game, you watch that game, you could make a movie out of that whole game completely, from start to finish. You don't have to touch anything. So I'm hoping that's kind of how they take it with Splinter Cell, where it could straight up just be a movie if they thought about it. I mean, if they wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a franchise that used to be something completely different, and then with like a little retuning and a remake, essentially, remake or continuation would be God of War.
Yeah.
I mean, God of War 1 through 3, I mean, they're great games, but the story isn't really what drives those games. It's a really good combat, the scenery, the backgrounds, and just a really good gameplay.
For sure.
The story does kind of take a little bit of a back seat, but then you go into the new God of War that's set in Norse mythology, and you are getting hit with one of the best narratives I've ever experienced. It's a huge change, and hey, maybe if they get this modern, updated story and they really go really hammer it in and really focus hard on telling a great and compelling story, this could be a really good remake.
Yeah, and I think I give credit to Sony for being able to do those, because with we talked about Horizon Zero Dawn yesterday. It's another one of those games where it's a single player game focused, and it is all about it. Same with Last of Us and all that stuff. Those games, just spectacular. They could literally just be movies. So I give a lot of credit to Sony, because they are delivering on a lot of those story-driven games.
Yeah. Now, before I get into my main story of the day, though, because we're going to be talking a little Call of Duty, a little more, I want to talk about Apex a little bit.
Okay.
The developers did an Ask Me Anything, and someone brought up the question about laser sights and what exactly compelled them to be brought into the game. And it was actually submachine guns. submachine guns themselves, the dev saw was too strong early on in the game before the laser sights were implemented, because you could run a long barrel on them, extend its range, so you had the fire rate and versatility of an SMG as well as the same close quarters power. But on top of that, you had the medium range killing power of an assault rifle, which overall had slower fire rate but heavier firepower,
Yeah.
but they're just still getting outgunned by a class technically that shouldn't be doing it. So they implemented the laser sight as a barrel attachment on the SMG because it's like, hey, do you want really good close quarters, which is what the SMGs are really good at? Do you want it to just be really good, but now you can't really fight at that medium range anymore? You can't do the kind of same stuff you could before.
So did they take out the extendo barrel for the SMGs altogether and just replace it with the sight or the laser sight?
So no, what they actually did, which I think is smart, they kept the attachment in, but now there's an alternative, and that they made the assault rifles by trade actually better at mid-range.
Okay.
Kind of nerfing the SMGs a little bit at mid-range, but giving them the close quarters option,
Okay.
so they can really excel there. But they also still have the option of the extendo barrel if they want to try to go for that mid-range thing again.
All right. So
but it's not going to be as strong as it was before because now the ARs that you're fighting against are
stronger.
better in that range.
Okay. That's good. I like that. And, I was going to say that maybe they should have just taken out the extendo barrel altogether, just have the laser sights. But with, adding some more damage to these AR guns, I think that it's actually going to work better because players still have the choice to, if they want to kind of go mid-range with the SMG, they have the option to.
Yeah, they also defended their lack of changes to Pathfinder's passive. So one of the guys, lead designer Devin McGuire, he said in a comment many seasons ago, Pathfinder was given a temporary passive while a real one was being brainstormed. And at least that's how it was presented to the community. Are y'all still brainstorming, or have you decided that Pathfinder doesn't really deserve a real passive? That's what he asked. Now, the developer responded saying, we're very aware of this. We've heard numerous suggestions, and we're looking at it, but we don't want to just slap a new passive on a guy who's already well-liked, powerful, and performing well at the risk of adding to his already potent combat power or shifting development time that is needed to service other legends or meta concerns when there's no immediate need. But I'm hopeful in the future is friendly in upcoming seasons.
Yeah, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, I mean that's basic philosophy.
There it is.
I mean, Pathfinder, as far as I know, is not performing bad in the meta. He's got a good kit. He doesn't need a change. But I mean, it's kind of like that quote where it's like, okay, you said in the past that this is just a temporary passive. Like, is it gonna stay this way, or are you gonna just heavily change it in the future?
Hey, if the shoe fits, why change it? There's two. I gave you two metaphors almost.
But at this point, he's been in the game since launch, and players are already liking his passive. They've had a lot of time to play with his kit. So honestly, just keep it the way it is.
Yeah, I see plenty of people still playing Pathfinder just like consistently too. So it's like there must not be something, off with him, because people still find a lot of success as playing him. So
okay, big story of the day.
Let's go.
Call of Duty, PlayStation hypocrisy.
Let's go.
So, PlayStation once again is trying to make sure that this deal does not go through with Microsoft and Activision. They have expressed their grievances pretty publicly on Twitter, saying that it's actually unfair and that it would incentivize monopolizing it. That they would have a stranglehold on Call of Duty, and that it would be unfair. Says the company that has pretty much built their entire claim on exclusives. And when it comes to Call of Duty, ever since the early access stuff, because remember back in the old days of Call of Duty, Xbox actually got DLC first. They got it 30 days first. Do y'all remember that?
Which game are we talking? Because if we know exactly what game it is.
We're talking like Modern Warfare 1, World at War, Modern Warfare 2.
Then I remember that, yeah, because we got the Modern Warfare Xboxes as well, like right when it came out. It was very focused on the Xbox releases.
Yeah.
So.
And I was always so jealous because until I moved off into like senior year of high school, I had a PlayStation 3. And I got so jealous because I would always see the zombie YouTubers, like the Nazi zombie YouTubers, playing those maps a month earlier. I'm like, why can't I just play it now? And then I get an Xbox One, and then Call of Duty makes the deal with Sony and PlayStation, so now they're getting the stuff early. Yeah, did y'all forget about that? They then got their stuff 30 days early, and nobody complained. Now they are dropping exclusive operator skins, exclusive game modes. Oh, by the way, let's see. There was another PlayStation game where, you know the one I'm really excited about, Callisto Protocol?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an exclusive quest on there that's only to PlayStation.
What the heck?
There's an exclusive quest. Oh yeah, that made me remember it. Exclusive quest on Hogwarts, the like Harry Potter open world RPG that's coming out.
That looks really cool, by the way.
It does look really cool.
I agree.
And one of the quests is really cool, and I can't play it because I'm on PC.
That's some BS, dude. And then PlayStation has the nerve. Okay, so I don't want to dog PlayStation too much because we were just giving them a little bit of love yesterday, but this is the stuff that makes us. We dogging them, all right? We dogging them, all right? This is the stuff that makes me just like in my head. Why? Why are they complaining? Again, they have all these exclusives that they kind of made, like, you know, just to get people to get their consoles. Yes, their console is slightly more powerful than the Xbox consoles as of late, but...
On top of price hiking the PlayStation 5 recently.
Yeah. But at the same time, most console players don't really care about those small graphic details, so they're just playing the games. The only reason PlayStation has people who are playing the games is because of what they've done with Call of Duty, what they've done with God of War, which respect to them, Uncharted, they've got Horizon, all of those games and stuff, you can't even touch them if you're trying to play it on Xbox or any Microsoft things. And then we had to pretty much force one of the games, Death Stranding, to be on PC Game Pass, not even on the console Game Pass. So it's just like, come on.
Heck, we got a PC port of God of War finally about 3 years later.
Yeah.
Or like 2 to 3 years later. But what is going on is that they don't want Call of Duty to thrive on Xbox. Because it's inevitably going to go to Game Pass. They have said this. They've said it's going to go to Game Pass. And that could honestly kill the PlayStation player base for Call of Duty.
Yeah, at least
let me ask you two an honest question here.
Okay.
Because then I'm going to bring in a little more pop culture since Sony has messed up two separate things, this one being one of them. Which one have they done worse with? Spider-Man or PlayStation?
Okay. I believe...
Or should I say the Marvel or the Spider-Verse?
Having Spider-Man inside of the Marvel game only on PlayStation and then only having Spider-Man on...
Then I'm also talking Spider-Man movies.
Okay.
The Spider-Verse, Venom, Morbius, those are Sony movies.
Yeah.
Those aren't Disney movies.
Even Spider-Man was a Sony movie for the longest time.
It
and they
still is.
Yeah, it's still Sony kind of. And they've been complaining back and forth about it for the longest time. I think it's both terrible. Terrible. My favorite character. My favorite superhero. And they're going to have to do that to me. Like,
I am so glad you brought up Venom because Carnage is one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe. And I am so mad they did him dirty. Woody Harrelson, don't get me wrong.
That was such a great idea.
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson is Carnage.
Yes.
It's like, yes, please.
Now, don't get me wrong. Woody Harrelson, though, did do a good job. I think he did well for what he was given. I think he made the most out of what he was given.
All right, that's perfect case in point. Man.
Yeah.
That just really is perfect case in point. And can we all just agree that Sony is just downright terrible?
Yes.
They just want a stranglehold on all these big franchises, and they just can't let them go because they're scared somebody else is going to find success with them that they wouldn't have had.
Yeah, I mean, God forbid they just got Bungie.
I know.
Oh, man, we're so crying for Call of Duty over here. Meanwhile, we're just stacking up paper with the Taken King and Destiny 2
They should
and the Witch Queen or whatever DLC just came out. Something Queen is always like corrupted or taken or devoured.
While Sony is complaining about
something,
all of this Call of Duty stuff, okay, they could be thinking about a way to go around it. Maybe making better exclusives, more exclusives, that would give people more of a reason to still have the PlayStation 5. Instead, they're focusing all this time on trying to settle something that'll allow Call of Duty to stay just like kind of just only on PlayStation because they get a lot of stuff that's before anybody else. And then they could just revive Killzone and make it a decent game again, and that's their Call of Duty right there.
Yeah. I'm about to wrap it up with. I'll wrap it up with this point.
Get it?
Just PlayStation. make PlayStation Plus just some kind of competitor to Game Pass.
It's impossible.
That's all you need to do.
Impossible.
It's impossible.
Just some kind. Offer the service at a discounted price. Maybe give a different kind of selection. Just something to make people care about PlayStation Plus, because as of right now, compared to Game Pass, it is garbage.
Yeah. Maybe come out with a handheld or something.
It does not compete. There is literally no reason to have PC Plus over PS Plus over Game Pass. Make something to actually make your player base care. But that's all I got to say about that.
Anyway, all right, yeah, we got to pay some bills, and then so we don't have a Tom Abraham break, or Tom Abraham segment. But I got a little bit of a tease coming up for the next segment before we go to the 3 o'clock hour. They have the probability chances of which network will air the 60-second home run by one Mr. Judge. We'll get into those numbers when we come back. You're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
Of course.
The Blitz has been called.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, here letting you know we are proud supporters of Madison Academy football. Stop into the University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com to view all our great offers and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today, because we want to see you in a Kia. Go Mustangs!
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
From her husband because she deserves it. But I think it was Tyrus that said it. I'm with Tyrus. Like, no, homegirl, you got OnlyFans page. You knew exactly what they were coming for. Like, stop pretending you didn't know. This is, to me, my favorite kind of whores are honest whores, right?
Amen.
Like a whore that is like, yes, I am a whore.
This is supposed to be playing, right?
I move 4 ways.
It's definitely got to be playing. It's Smokey. Smokey right there.
Some really fun people.
Who got you on that interview right there? Welcome back, everybody, to the Afternoon Blitz. I don't know what Smokey's trying to do for us.
No. You and I yesterday, Captain Cool, we were going, if we're going to do any dead time, we'll bring up Adam Levine.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I remember hearing about this story.
So Sonny Johnson was on Gutfeld the other day. And granted, I don't really like to talk a lot of politics in the radio business because we're sports talk.
Of course.
But she just had a perfect response to it that I had to bring it up because that's exactly what the situation is. And if you want to talk about that too, we could talk about the Boston Celtic head coach in the next hour. We're going to bring that up. We're going to talk about a possible year-long suspension for a guy that's hit the finals last year.
Jeez.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Why is that still, I hate this board sometimes. Anyway. All right. I've digressed.
Interesting. What you got for us?
I digress.
If you guys want to join in on any of the conversations today, make sure you guys know to call us at 256-576-4977. And this first hour has been brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration because they show up and get it all done. Take it away, Smokey. I know you got something to say.
Honest whores are good whores.
Honest whores are good whores.
Yes. They are the best whores. Why do you got to lie about it?
Yeah.
Everybody's a whore.
Yeah. Be straight up about your whore.
Your whoredom.
I don't know.
Your whoredom.
Your whoredom. There you go. I'll just say that. That's enough whores for
anyway,
today.
So Jacob Feldman on Twitter, right? He is the reporter of Sportico, and one thing that he put out on the Twitter world earlier today is that the New York Yankees over the next 6 days, 3 against it's the next 7 days. 4 against the Red Sox, not White Sox, and then 3 against the Blue Jays are coming up, and Aaron Judge sitting at 60. We're all anticipating him to tie and break the Maris record. So they have probability odds of who, network-wise, will air Aaron Judge's 62nd home run. Tonight, Fox is carrying the game. Fox, the actual network Fox. So, tonight's game against the Red Sox, the probability is at 6%.
Only 6?
Only 6. Remember, it's a 2 home run game that he's got to do to have 62.
That's true.
But then they have, buddy. Oh, wait, you don't have the wedding. You've got the wedding.
I do got the wedding.
But tomorrow's game's on Apple TV, and that fantastic coverage that Apple TV brings to you oh my God.
I don't think it's going to happen on Apple TV. I'll say that.
They give Apple TV a 15% chance of airing the 62nd home run. Saturday against the Red Sox, it's on the Yes Network and MLB Network.
It's happening on the Yes Network.
16%.
It's happening. It's going to happen.
Sunday Night Baseball, ESPN against the Red Sox. They're another 15%, and then as they go with the last 3 with the Blue Jays, all 3 are the Yes Network, and Tuesday's on TBS, Monday and Wednesday is Yes and the MLB Network. They've got Judge at 12% on Monday, 10% on Tuesday on TBS, and 7% on Wednesday.
It's because the man's going to have 65 by then. That's what's going to happen. The stat line goes up, it goes down. And that man's going to be going for 70. I tell you that much.
Do you think he'll be going for 70?
I think he's going past 70. I've been talking about it, okay? He's gonna reach Barry Bonds, and Smokey's going to have to eat those words that he was talking about.
He's not hitting 70. There's only 14 games left.
There you go. It's going to happen. It might happen at least in the playoffs, though, I will say. Depends on if they go in a deep run. Okay. Deep run.
Got to deal with the Houston Astros, though. They are world beaters.
They are the worst.
Anyway, that's the end of hour 1. Hour number 2, we got Crawdad from Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff on the line. We'll be discussing Army football and what his thoughts were having Jeff Monken on the line last night on the Neighbors Wealth
Pretty cool stuff.
Hotline, Army's head coach, and his feeling on where Monken is with the Army football program. You're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
This hour of the Blitz is brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Online at FlemingHSV.com.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant Bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right, even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
In 1982, Bob Baumhauer introduced Alabama to the Buffalo Wild Wing, and quite frankly, we've never been the same. Back then, it was Wings and Things in Tuscaloosa, but now, 40 years later, after 4 name changes, Baumhauer's Victory Grill is the #1 sports-themed restaurant in the state. Bob's Alabama Hot Chicken is something that has to be tried to believe, plus the new Bam Bam Chicken in the Louisiana.
This hour of the Blitz is brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Online at FlemingHSV.com. Welcome to the evolution of sports radio.
You see, in this industry, just like in life, everything evolves.
Call 256-576-4977 to make your audible for the Blitz.
That man is playing Gallagher. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
It's the Afternoon Blitz. Here are your hosts, Smokey, Captain Cool, and the Bandi Man.
The second hour is live of the Afternoon Blitz right here on the Tennessee Valley Blitz. I ain't giving you the phone number.
Don't.
I ain't going to be an idiot like Captain Cool over here.
Man.
No, in all seriousness. The number to get in after Crawdaddy is going to be 256-576-4977, as well as on Twitter. You can react to us, tell us what you think of the show, give us your audibles for the Blitz. I'm at Rose Scholar, the captain's at CPT Cool 420. Bandi is at B Larry 2016, and the station is at the Blitz_sports. Also check out the Recruiting Blitz Monday through Friday from 9 to 10 with Drew DeArmond as the big commitment for the week of the Alabama Crimson Tide. He had on, I can't remember the coach's name right off the top of my head. Hold on, I got it. I feel like because with that 4-star commitment with Jalen Hale,
5-star.
Oh, 5-star.
Yeah.
But he had John Witt, who is actually the wide receivers coach for Jalen Hale, early on this morning.
All right.
So
That's
check
awesome.
that out. You can check that out on the Twitter, on the Facebook at the Blitz Sports Radio is the page that you need to go like. We also have some more stories that we hadn't even touched, like nuclear threats.
Oh, jeez.
Nuclear threats. NBA coaches about to be suspended for a year. We've still got a whole bunch more to go, but right now, Amanda does a fantastic job at Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff and Army football, which Army come away with exactly what they needed to this week, a 49-10 victory over the Villanova Wildcats, which you can hear on the Blitz Sports Radio each and every Saturday that Army is playing, because they're not playing this week. You will not be listening to Army football, but it is one Crawdaddy. Crawdaddy, afternoon, how are you?
How you guys doing?
Man, I'm sorry. I gotta get away. I gotta bring this pain up because you were up so bad and so much. You were up so much, and we were all rooting for you in the fantasy football league because anytime anybody could beat the Tom, it's a glorious day.
Yeah, I agree.
And you got the 40. You got the 40 plus from Tyreek Hill. I was like, all right, yes. And then Buffalo blows them out. And Josh Allen's out in the third quarter. You still have a good chance. And then that damn Bills defense brought out.
Well, at the end of the day, Tom ended up beating me by 0.4 points.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
What a game.
I was up 151 to 71, and he had a hell of a Monday night. And hey, Mike, guess who I'm up against this week?
Oh, you're talking about moi.
I'm up against you, baby.
Against the real Slim Brady, which God bless, Tom Brady needs to do something.
He does. He's not showing out.
My backup quarterback is Matt Ryan. I have no confidence.
Hey, whereas Tom's backup quarterback is Tua, and he set him on the bench, and he still ended up winning against you. Oh my gosh, I don't know what was going on. This is a wacky weekday.
It ain't a wacky Wednesday.
It's a weekday.
Hey, Smokey, I got a quarterback for you if you want one.
Well, you can.
No. I've got a good lineup set. I'm not worried about Smokey Mike at all. But let me give y'all a little bit of insight on the Army. What happened last week?
Yeah, because that was about.
We beat Villanova, and I don't know if you guys remember, but I predicted a 31-point victory with 500 yards rushing. We had a 39-point victory with 472 yards rushing, and guess what? We attempted one pass, and we didn't complete it, but it didn't even make any difference. We spoke to Coach Monken and talked to him about that last night, and that's what he would. He says, "Hey, I hope I never have to throw the ball." But the interesting thing is right now the leading the nation in passing efficiency is Army. Believe it or not.
That's crazy.
I know. I think I brought up. Oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's my computer just beeped at me a couple of times, but we've lost. We're 1-2. We beat the teams we should have beaten, and the two teams we lost. One we could have won. The other one, Coastal Carolina, was a legitimate loss. But hey, I still have us on a path for a 10-2 record towards the end of the year. Last week, 8 of our future opponents were in action, and 7 of them lost. And of our remaining schedule, there's only 2 teams that are ranked ahead of us. One is Wake Forest, which is coming up down the pike a little bit. They're 17 in the country, and the other one is Georgia State, which is not this weekend but next weekend. And I think Wake Forest is a legitimate loss, and the rest of them, I think we can handle the business on the schedule.
Georgia
no
State,
problem
I
whatsoever.
believe, is one of 4 winless teams in FBS right now. But Bandi, go ahead with your questions there.
And I'm about to say, because I brought up the last time we talked that maybe Army might utilize the pass more because they were trying to against UTSA a little bit, but clearly that wasn't needed at all. But I was glad to see that your pick actually turned out to be almost right on the dot.
Well, I asked Coach Monken about that last night. I said, are we seeing more of a pass-oriented Army offense, or are you just taking what the defense will give us? And he said, hey, we're still an option team. We're just taking what the defense gives us. If we have to throw it sometimes, we will. And he said, and the good thing is, we have Cade Ballard from up the road in Nashville, who's a dadgum good quarterback with a rocket arm. So, yeah, we're looking pretty good, and I'm pleased with that. And this week we're off. I would say also one more thing. If you want to hear Coach Monken's interview, you can go to the station's website and look under the archives, and you will find it there. And one thing I'll mention about Coach Monken in our interview last night, I asked him, I said, and I think, Mike, you were musing a bit about, what all has he done at Army? Well, and what do I think of his position and where he's going to go? Well, his win over Villanova put him as the number 2 all-time winningest coach in Army football. And last night I said, Coach, I got a question for you. I said, you've done a lot up there. I said, you've beaten each of the service academies 4 times. You've gone to 4 bowls. And most importantly, you've kind of changed the culture of Army football to one where people think they might win to where they expect to win. And I said, Coach, when you sit on your deck with a refreshing adult beverage, I said, what is the thing that you have the fondest memory of Army football? And his answer to 3 old West Point graduates who were hosting the show was perfect, because he said there's a lot that has happened on the football field, but the thing that I get the most pleasure of is watching our players graduate and become officers in the Army. And, that's really what it's all about up there. And graduating up there, hell, I barely did it. It's hard to do. And that's what we wanted to hear. It's not something that happens on the football field, but essentially what he was saying was seeing his football players move into successful positions to have a career in the Army.
Okay, very nice. And looking at this, the Villanova game that went on, and seeing, Army went pretty much all-out run game, okay? And then now they're going and they have a little bit of time to kind of hone in on what they're going to be doing against their next few opponents, because they are off this week, and then they get to play Georgia State on the next one. But do you think with this time off, do you think that Army's going to try and implement a little bit more to their passing game, or do you think they're going to keep trying to kind of focus on that run game going forward and against Georgia State?
Well, first of all, I hope they got the doctor bills paid up there, because our number 1 and number 2 quarterback got hurt, and our great fullback, Jacoby Buchanan, had 1 run for 55 yards, and he left the game, and we saw him on the sideline on crutches with his pads off. So, but to answer your question, I asked a similar question to Coach Monken last night. What are we going to do? Are we going to focus more on the pass, blah, blah, blah? And he said, no, I am a run-first team. We are run-oriented, and that's what we're going to try to do. And, hey, when the Army run system is working, and, it's got to happen with the first play where you get 4 to 5 yards, and then we are a 4-down team always, no matter where we are on the field. So if it's working, it's a thing of beauty, and he, from his comments last night, didn't give me any indication at all to think that he's going to be shifting more towards the pass. But he also said, but it's nice to know we have it if we need it.
Yeah, with the whole Villanova game, having to run, almost the entire time, I thought they'd kind of, lean a little bit more towards the passing game, only because, going up against Villanova, it's not that big of a challenge compared to the last 2 games they had to go against, which they played very good games, I will say. And I think that your 10-2 prediction is a great, I think that is definitely a likely outcome of the season. But I had a feeling that Army would kind of want to pass a little bit more during the Villanova game, but you can look at it in both ways. They want to either kind of hone in and just kind of focus, go back to the basics and focus on that run game, or they're going to go over to the pass game. And I guess now we know our answer.
Well, Captain Cool, let me give you a little stat, and I'm going to put you in Coach Monken's seat for a second. If you are averaging almost 8.6, almost 10 yards every time you run the ball, would you pass?
Ain't no need to.
That ain't no need.
There you go. Run the ball.
He's had quite a few games up there where there's been 1 or 2 passes because you don't need it. But like he said, if we need it, we got it.
Okay.
Crawdad on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, the host of Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff for all your Army football coverage right here in the Tennessee Valley. You can take a listen to Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. But Crawdaddy, I'm going to go a little bit off of the schedule because looking at it, granted, wait for it, but I want to go to one thing I absolutely love is rivalries. I love college football rivalries. And looking at Air Force, looking at Navy, and the Commanders-in-Chief Trophy, the Air Force looks unbelievable. Well, not actually. Before last week, they look unbelievable. Then they had the Front Range series with Wyoming, which is actually one of my favorite underrated rivalries because of all the grandeur that they have before it with the marathon runner, the marathon runner, I believe, or the torch passing as well. Air Force or Navy, which one are you more? Which one do you think would pose more of a threat to Army football this year?
Well, right now, it's going to be Air Force. Navy has had a bad couple of years, even though they were having the worst year in their program last year. They still snuck up and beat us. But Mike, just an interesting aspect of that, you can talk to any Army football player, and they will say, who do you hate more, Navy or Air Force? And they hate the Air Force. The Air Force game is dirty. There's eye gouging. There's people spitting on one another. There's all kinds of stuff going on. So the Army Air Force game to the players is one they really want to win. Now Army Navy is that's the showcase rivalry, and of course we want to win that. But I think if you ask any player, and Coach Joe Ross, who played and co-hosted our show occasionally, he will swear to that. He said, I hated playing Air Force. We hated them more than anybody on the schedule. So now, as far as I'm concerned, though, it's Navy. And I have a little dog in that fight because my dad's an Annapolis graduate, and so he and I have always kind of had that bone to pick with each other.
I say so, but also kind of what you're telling me is I need to make sure at some point I need to go to an Army Air Force game and just see that environment.
You want to go to a good one next year? It's going to be at Mile High Stadium.
Ooh, pretty solid.
Yeah, and one thing I think we're going to see is just like Army Navy has always played at a neutral site. I think they're moving towards making Army Air Force the same thing and moving it to a neutral site. So that's a good thing.
And again, looking at this Georgia State game that is going to be coming up after Army gets a well-deserved little break because I know those two first losses were a little tough. They were very close, but they were tough. But we get to see Georgia State actually going up against Coastal Carolina tonight. And will this be a good indication of how Army's going to be playing against them? Because we're kind of going to get to see how Georgia State goes up against this Coastal Carolina team that played Army week 1.
I do believe tonight that Coastal Carolina will blow Georgia State off the map. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that because it is going to be a good indication of, even though that was the first game of the season, it's still going to be a good indication of what we need to be thinking about. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, good point, good call. I'll certainly be watching it.
All right.
Crawdaddy has been our guest. Crawdad, much appreciate the time, sir, and we'll talk to you next week, and we'll actually preview some game action then.
Well, and hopefully I will be texting you sometime Tuesday morning saying how bad I smoked Smokey Mike on fantasy football.
Let's hope.
Everybody wants to smoke the smoke, but I only smoke the smoke.
Nobody outsmokes the smoke.
All right, guys, take care. Go Army.
We appreciate it. Go Army.
Have a good one, Crawdad.
Oh,
good
man.
stuff. I always love having him on. I kind of warmed up to him. I gotta say, all right. After the first show, I was like, I don't know too much about Army football. This guy, he's a fanatic about the team, and I mean,
he is.
When it comes to those fans and those alumni from Army and all that stuff, it is a different breed. Truly, it is a different breed. It doesn't matter what your team's doing. Those fans, it's just like in the military. I mean, it's just how it is. It's very patriotic, very American, and you know what? It doesn't matter whenever there's a little bit of the rivalry against kind of like a civil war with Navy and Air Force and all that stuff. And I was surprised to hear that the Air Force game with Army is a little bit more chippy than the Navy Army game. So
that actually doesn't surprise me because my grandparents and my parents have been is Air Force.
Okay,
So-
that's understandable then. Yeah, it's understandable.
Actually, I was chilling in a Discord call. One of my best friends, he enlisted in the military in the Army,
Mhm.
and I was talking to two of his other Army buddies that were in the call, just talking about, because they don't really follow sports at all.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering, what is the Army Navy rivalry like in the Army area? It's like, I mean, it was everywhere. It's
Yeah.
like we didn't really follow sports at all, but it was like if Army ended up winning, like they got like a day off or something.
There
like
you go.
It was like a huge thing around.
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean,
That's cool to learn about.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, like, even though you're not a sports dude, I mean, everybody knows about the Army-Navy game. It is one of the top rivalries, and I always enjoy watching it, and I don't even know a player on each team, in the past years. Now I know a little bit more about him, thanks to Crawdad, which, again, you can listen to his countdown to kickoff on, Wednesdays?
Wednesday nights, yeah.
Wednesday nights, and they had a great show yesterday. I actually got to tune into that, and I was hearing him talk to Coach and stuff, and a lot of good things from that show. I have to agree. I have to admit.
Captain Cool, look at you, man.
Yeah. I had a long time here in Huntsville last night, so I was listening to 97.7 a little bit more than usual.
You knucklehead.
As you were right outside the studio.
No, that was actually when I was at Domino's after I went to the Planet Fitness, because we were still trying to figure out what the hell we were going to do that night. And little did I know we were going to almost get arrested.
Well, it's heating up in here, so we're going to have to cool down after this here commercial break right now.
Oh, yeah.
But you're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
Bailey Custom Boats. We knew our boats were special when we would stop at any outdoor store to stock up on supplies for a boat trip, only to come back out to the parking lot and see people standing on and around our boat and a confused sales rep telling them it's not for sale and they don't even have that type of boat. Fast forward a few years, and now you can buy your very own one-of-a-kind Bailey Custom Boat. We hand cut our wood from cypress we pull from the river in Mississippi. There's a lifetime warranty on the bill, faster and more maneuverable like a ski boat, and better fuel mileage than any pontoon on the market. With 350 horsepower, a Bailey Custom Boat will go 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds. And our custom boats are Coast Guard approved for offshore and virtually unsinkable. We'll be showcasing our custom boats at different lakes over the next few weeks. Find out where at BaileyCustomBoats.com. On YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. We're taking orders now for 2023 delivery from April to May. You gotta pay to play. BaileyCustomBoats.com.
AVIQ. Who is AVIQ? AVIQ is audiovisual the intelligent way, where we put our IQ to work for your AV needs. With more than 100 years combined experience in audio, video, and automation, our team of experts is dedicated to one thing, helping you discover technological solutions that make your home special. Once you experience a game or a movie on one of our state-of-the-art home theater systems, you may never leave the house again. AVIQ can build the entire system for you or provide the quality components if you're a do-it-yourselfer. But AVIQ is more than just home theater and state-of-the-art sound systems. We offer a variety of control options for home technology. Energy efficiency, heightened security, and improved quality of life are all attainable through the automation of home systems. Intuitive and user-friendly control is our main priority in designing a system that meets your needs. Don't just take our word for it. You need to see it to believe it. Come visit us at our state-of-the-art showroom on University, just east of Jim and Nick's, across from AT&T, or visit aviqhsv.com.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of the Stanton Law Firm. Stan, I guess you are the Stanton in the law firm.
Yes, Wes, that's me, and we started the Stanton Law Firm so that myself and 4 other attorneys with me can help clients litigate, negotiate, and creatively solve legal and real estate problems.
Now, Stan, you grew up on a family farm in this area and have made a name closing on houses and land with your closing company, Jacob Title.
I grew up on a farm which used to be in the country. That, plus having closed on so many homes and farms, one of my colleagues started referring to me as a classic dirt lawyer. Now, I didn't know how to take that at first, that tag, but I realized that's exactly what I do and what I am.
And I know the attorneys at Stanton Law Firm are regular listeners, and we plan to have you on periodically. You and I have seen have impacted this community.
Stay tuned, and you may hear about friends like Steve Booker, Clarence Johnson, Thomas Boyd, and even a few of those offensive line hogs like Hoss Johnson, and maybe you remember some other of those guys too.
I remember Clarence Johnson. He beat us one year. He was unbelievable.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hello and welcome back to a Thirsty Thursday here in No Man's Land. Welcome to the afternoon Blitz. Bandi Man is back and he is to my left. He is bringing the energy. Thank you for being back, Bandi. This episode has just gone by so much smoother, I feel like, than usual, because I'm not just having to worry about, my own segment, but your segment as well. And I'm glad that you got a little bit of your input in throughout the week. So I appreciate everything you're doing, and I'm glad to see you back in the studio. Thank you, Smokey Mike, for doing a great job over there at producing this show every single day. We're having a wonderful time today, and it is pretty much. Yeah, he doesn't take compliments too well. It's because we're usually all dogging each other, which is how it should be. All right.
You know what? I like every time it's just like I think about your old man, and the first thing I go is rubble.
And it's true, and you actually brought that to my attention because I was like, "What is he talking about?" I was like, "Oh, that's gotta be Tom." And then you brought it up and you said it was Tom, and I was like, "Yeah, that's actually exactly what happened." So now, anytime I hear him yell up to me while I'm like just chilling out in my room, I hear John, and I'm like. Rebel. I just know exactly what's coming. I'm gonna have to do something for him that he would probably do, but he's got me in the house, so why not just make his son do it? Because I'm young, healthy, and I know how to lift things without hurting my back. Yeah, the one time he tried to help me move my vehicle back, he ended up hurting his back. So I was like, maybe just leave it to me next time. But that's a pretty cool thing. But I got some other cool stories to talk about. One including a truck flipping and a bunch of cold brews flying out. That one mainly, it's not really too interesting of a story. However, since it's a Thirsty Thursday, it's got me feeling a little thirsty. And then we're going to talk about a little bit of tonight's game against Cleveland Browns versus the Steelers, and what's going to happen with Mitchell Trubisky if he doesn't perform under the lights, under the primetime lights.
You have no idea how badly I want to play Joe Flacco.
Yeah, it's about to get past that time to where we don't have to worry about it.
We have lost it's lost its luster.
It's lost its luster, okay, but at the same time,
I rammed it as much as I could.
Every once in a while, if you want to bring it up,
phrasing.
Every once in a while, if you do want to bring it up, it'll just bring me back to that one moment where I saw Joe Flacco and the Jets beat the Browns. So it's a hard thing. And then, since it is pretty much my last day here, for the week. At least, Bandi said phrasing as well on that because I am not leaving the show. Okay, I'm just going to be gone for tomorrow, all right? I ain't taking a vacation or just getting out of this place for good, all right? I'm still here. But since it is my final day today, or this week, I'm going to have a little top 10 list, and I think we're going to go a little bit video game side, so it's kind of going to dig into a little bit of the e-play-by-play stuff, but it's all in relation to yesterday's show and how we talked a little bit about the PlayStation VR. But that's all coming up on What's Cool.
It's getting hot in here.
I mean, I can see why you'd get confused. I talked about video games at the end of that.
You realize I'm not going to do any mistakes while Bandi's here.
So it's time to cool down with Captain Cool.
You know what cool is?
What? That's right. All right, I feel like more than ever, okay, we're seeing trucks on highways flipping over, spilling out all their essence, whatever it's inside of it. I know the other day I saw one about a bunch of tomatoes flying out and just all over the road. The road was covered in red because all of the tomatoes got ran over by other cars passing by. And then the other day I saw womanly products fall out of a car or a truck in Texas, I believe. And it was pretty hilarious because on that occasion, I wasn't going to bring it up in one of these headlines, but we don't have any womanly product Wednesdays. So there's no need for me to bring up that story. But since it's Thursdays, we're going into this one about a truck flipping. And yeah, it was an 18-wheeler flipping, and it was holding hundreds of cases of Coors Light, and it's because it failed to stop. Thank you for putting on those glasses, Bandi, because it is getting bright, and it is also getting very cool in here. But it totally just rammed into another pair of semi-trucks who, one of them tried to get over, another one kind of clipped it, and then it all went wonky, and then the one guy driving this one truck full of Coors Light in Florida, by the way. This is in Florida, so everything goes down in Florida or Texas. I feel like that's how it is. But yeah, the last guy driving the Coors Light truck wasn't paying attention. Hopefully he wasn't too high on the product or drunk off of his own supply. Yeah, he spilled out a butt ton of booze. And if I was a passerby right there, I'd stop and I'd be like, let me help out. Let me help you guys out. I'll pick up some of this stuff for you.
Yeah, hey, let me just grab a couple cases for you. You probably don't need these. No one drinks Natty.
Well, what I would do, this is what I would do. I would go and grab it, okay? And I'd be like, here you go. And I'd give him one. Every single time I give him one, I'm going to be like making sure he looks at the box. So I'm giving him the box, but I'm going to have 3 stuck in the back of my pants. And I'm going to throw them in. Maybe I'm not the best influence because I almost got arrested last night. And I've also told people that street racing in Huntsville is a good idea, which it's not. Don't do it. Also, don't camp out in your car in Huntsville because it's against the law. But yeah, I mean, I'd probably snag a few of these things, but also be a good Samaritan and help out getting the roads clean and smooth off of the nice whatever the Coors Light slogan is. I don't know. I know it's like the silver bullet. I don't drink Coors Light, but alcohol's alcohol, and it's a Thirsty Thursday, so I'm gonna get drunk off of something tonight. I know that's for sure because I'm going to my sister's wedding's cocktail party that happens before. I'm thinking like, I mean, all right, everybody's gonna be drunk the next day whenever the wedding's actually going on. But go off, I guess it's gonna be a fun time. I'm gonna be on a rooftop in Nashville, and hopefully I don't fall off that roof. But if somebody says Joe Flacco, I might decide to. But we're not gonna talk about that because that's not even funny, okay? But moving on, okay? Mitchell Trubisky and the Steelers going up against the Browns of Cleveland tonight. And I'll be at my sister's wedding's cocktail party, so that might not be a thing I'm watching. However, I'm going to make sure that I am, because if there is a TV inside this area that we're going, I don't know where it is. I forgot the exact name of this place. But if there's at least one TV on that rooftop that we're going to, you better believe I'm telling the people, hey, why aren't the Browns playing right now? This is an Abraham wedding, okay? The Browns need to be on the TV. I don't care if it's during the wedding. During the wedding, I would still say, hey, I'm going to need a TV off to the side. I'm going to be watching that while my sister's getting married. It'd be the 2 best things I get to really see. I get to see my sister get married to a great man, and I also get to see the Cleveland Browns possibly ending Mitchell Trubisky's career, okay? At least for the Steelers, okay? But that's the one thing I wanted to bring up, okay? During these primetime games, we see a lot of stuff go down, especially with these teams that are kind of question marks on the season, all right? A few years ago, if you guys remember this, I remember it for sure. The Browns and the Jets, when they didn't go up against Joe Flacco. It wasn't Joe Flacco. It was Sam Darnold, actually. And we ended up injuring Sam Darnold. We got to see a second string guy come in, and he was going up against the Browns. The Browns were still losing to the Jets in the first half. And they had a guy named Tyrod Taylor as quarterback at the time. And this is before he went to the Chargers, got his lung punctured, and then went to the Giants to just now be a second stringer for the rest of his career, which sucks because he is a solid player. And he was playing well for the Chargers, by the way. I just want to say, I know I'm getting off in a tangent, but after he got something stuck in his neck and he couldn't play in that one matchup, it was kind of sad to see his career kind of come to a close, at least as a starting quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I liked him in college.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor, he's an entertaining player, and he did some stuff in the NFL, but when he was on the Browns, didn't do too much. And this is kind of where I wanted to talk about this, because these primetime games, all right, everybody's watching them, okay? The fans are very involved. The one thing that I see happening out of tonight, if Mitchell Trubisky does not play his darndest to make sure he looks like a franchise quarterback, even though I know he's not the franchise quarterback for the Steelers. They don't want that. They want to move on with somebody new, somebody fresh, somebody specifically out of Pitt. Okay. But Mitchell Trubisky right now, he still has that lead on one little guy, Kenny Pickett. Okay. Which I think, what is he, small hands? Is that what we call him, small hands?
Small
hands.
Yeah.
You and your Browns fandom.
No. Now I'm not dogging Kenny Pickett yet, because
right.
I'm all for Kenny Pickett, actually. Okay.
No, you should be for Mitchell Trubisky.
Why?
I'm a Bears fan. I've dealt with Mitchell Trubisky. I know what this is.
Yeah. But
I have dealt with the Mitchell Trubisky experience.
Well, now we're gonna get to deal with him on the Steelers, and Steelers fans get to deal with him. So how do you think they feel? But
we do actually have a call.
Oh.
We do. Okay.
Yes, we've got Brandon here on line 1. Brandon,
throw him in here. What's up,
afternoon.
Brandon?
How you doing?
Man, I was having a good time today listening to one Thomas D. Abraham talk about the misadventures of his son.
Hey, there you go.
And I was sitting there when he was talking about it, and I said, Captain Crunch, Captain Cool. I said, we could really call him Lone Star. I said, because what he's describing is almost the plot line of Spaceballs. The 1985 Winnebago Eagle Star 5 or whatever it was.
Oh my gosh.
Lodestar and Barf. What would Bailey would be your Barf?
Bailey would be my Barf.
I'm stopping you right there. I'm not being
said
Barf.
I said the reason the police came up was probably because he set the alarm off. And I think y'all know what alarm I'm talking about in the movie.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
I swear I didn't set off any alarms. If anything, the only reason that I got caught is because I was right next to a road that was kind of populated by police officers, and also my back window was open and there was a towel hanging down because it was blocking some light. So these police officers are going to come by and think, that's not an abandoned car. There's somebody sleeping in that thing. And that was my biggest mistake of probably the past year. So
yeah.
Well, the way your dad made it sounded like the thing was rocking like it was in the L.A. earthquake.
I chose not to violence that night, I guess. But no. It was mainly just I was trying to fall asleep. Okay, police officers get the wrong idea. They come over and they're just like, "Hey guys, it's 3:00 in the morning. What are you doing? Sleeping in your vehicle?" I was just starstruck. I don't know. I'm just trying to sleep, officer. He said, you can't do that. This is Huntsville. This is a city. There's no sleeping in cars in the Huntsville city limits. I brought up the whole thing about going to Planet Fitness, and he was like, how many times have you done that? Planet Fitness, it allows you to spend a few nights at their places because it's where truckers go. It's where a lot of people travel and stuff like that. But I guess the Huntsville police officers haven't caught on to that yet. So I might have given them a little bit of a lead on where to break some people down. But, yeah, I mean, I guess you could say it's Lone Star.
Well, I guess it's better than going to Birmingham. You just sleep in your car down there, you probably end up dead.
Oh, hell no. Yeah, I'm not. No, it was already scary enough hearing the gunshots on the mountain. I didn't even expect it. But, yeah, it would have been just a kind of a norm in Birmingham. But I totally agree with you.
Yeah, if you ever hit Ensley, don't.
Yeah, don't. Turn around.
But I'm glad you got to listen to the full story, and I hope that you kind of got a better idea of why you shouldn't be sleeping in your car in Huntsville. So I did it so you didn't have to.
When you saying I was thinking you were in a large van, so
No.
you were in a small car.
No, it was a 2004 Ford Expedition. Okay, 2004 Ford Expedition.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you were in something kind of big.
It was a bigger vehicle, yeah.
So I guess the police officer was Dark Helmet then.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's a crazy night. You're gonna make me relive it.
Sir, you're not in Tennessee. You can't sleep here in your car. It's like,
So
how'd
that
you know?
means your girlfriend's Princess Vespa.
There you go, Princess Vespa. That's what I'm gonna just call her that from now on.
Yeah, call her Vespa.
Some people may understand.
Yeah.
Some people won't.
I want to
Hey, that's why he likes Kenny Pickett so much, because he did that Kenny Pickett slide last night and just got right up there.
Jeez. Thank you, Brandon. Great
Y'all
stuff.
have a great day.
You too.
You too, Brandon. Have a good one.
He was waiting.
Stellar.
He was waiting to get
Stellar.
you on this one.
I love that. I love people following up on stories that show my misfortune, but it's just how it is. Hopefully, a guy that's gonna have some misfortune against the Browns defense tonight is gonna be Mitchell Trubisky, so we could see a little bit of Kenny Pickett coming in. But like I was saying about this Browns-Jets game that happened years ago on Thursday Night Football, we got to see the rise of a quarterback that was supposed to be a franchise quarterback and ended up not being a franchise quarterback, and now he may be playing for the Panthers. Talking about Baker Mayfield coming in and winning that game. So this could be the next one of those games where Mitchell Trubisky might not be providing a good enough offensive team, and he might just get a little bit of the boot, and we might get to see Kenny Pickett. And you know what? If Kenny Pickett plays well enough, I hope he doesn't win, but if he does play well enough, we might see him go on for the rest of the season, be the starting quarterback for that said Steelers team. But if that's up to Mike Tomlin altogether, because he likes a little bit of patience with these new quarterbacks, okay? He's had Ben Roethlisberger as his quarterback for the last, I don't even know how long. But, yeah, maybe Kenny Pickett era will start now. Maybe it won't.
Well, I will say...
Definitely make the game a little bit more interesting on Amazon TV.
Just a little preview of the DF3 tonight. I do have the Browns defense in my Thursday night lineup.
One bad thing with that, though, is Jadeveon Clowney will be out for this night.
But Myles Garrett, you remember the last time Steelers and Browns played on Thursday night?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hopefully we don't see any Mason Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph took a helmet to the head.
Let's hope that Kenny Pickett doesn't meet that same end. But Mason Rudolph is still on the depth chart for the team. He's the third-string quarterback. And either way, I think think one Mr. Miles Garrett might have something to say to him about after the game, and hopefully it's not holding a helmet or anything.
You think he might try to take out the other two quarterbacks to get back at Mason Rudolph?
I mean, he's one guy that's really good at taking out quarterbacks when he needs to. I mean, he's like Alabama's defense in the Texas game.
The main thing with playing, just to sidebar just a second with the defense setup, the way they do the defense is pretty much the exact way that you do in regular fantasy with that. But you automatically start out with 10 points.
Okay, yeah.
Which, when you check their standings at the beginning of a game, if you got two defenses and you're in first place, you're like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden it's only downhill from there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Unless you have the Bills defense, all right.
But I am hoping, the main thing I'm hoping with it is a turnover. I feel like there's going to be a few turnovers, some sacks, and probably even a touchdown from it. So that's what I'm banking on, really, on that. But we'll continue that in the next segment. Continue.
And I think just because this might be a little bit relevant because we were talking about Mike Williams the other day, the guy who came in after Sam Darnold got injured on that one awesome night that led to the Browns finally winning a game and opening up those Bud Light coolers, I think was Mike White, which I accidentally mixed up with Mike Williams earlier in the week. I made a little bit of a oopsies, a little bit of an embarrassment because Mike White and Mike Williams do not compare at all.
They do not.
They do
no,
not.
they do not.
Moving on, though, okay. Again, this is my final day for the week, so I'm going to throw a little bit of the Fun Friday aspect into today's show. At least for me. You boys will get your own little list tomorrow. But since we were talking about the new PlayStation VR 2 headset and the nice little controller and all the features that all go into it, I wanted to bring up a list. Okay, I wanted to bring up a list. And I wanted to compare my own list, kind of, to this new list that IGN updated recently about the 10 best video game controllers. And I'm going to fly through this, and we're all going to kind of get a little bit of an opinion. Okay, but first things first. Bandi, Smokey, what are your guys' favorite console controllers? Go.
Now, criteria. What type of criteria are we talking about?
I'm just talking about what is your favorite. What is the best in your hand? What is the best to play with? All that stuff. Okay, what is the best feeling controller?
All right, I got an easy answer already. Nintendo GameCube controller. Easily my favorite controller.
That is a great one. It is different. That's the one thing I will say. It is a different controller, so it's kind of hard to get used to. But the way it fits in your hand just right, and you got all the buttons kind of all there, it's just it's a great one.
Ooh.
Very good for Smash as well.
I would say the N64.
Really?
Ooh. Because of the thing of the way that it's constructed, it is constructed to be what we have with the Xbox and the PlayStation. Well, more so of an Xbox.
Yeah.
Like it's more of an Xbox controller, but with an extra handle for a trigger, and then you got your stick or you got your joystick right there. So in games like GoldenEye, I loved how that controller worked out because it gave me good stability as well as I could aim flawlessly and just not worry about like shaking or any other stuff like that. And then you get to games like No Mercy or any of those wrestling games where they use D-pad instead of stick.
Yeah.
It made things a little bit easier.
Yeah.
On like a lot of the stuff that they did with the N64 really did well with joystick or D-pad, not really trying to integrate both of them in the same type of game.
Yeah. I will say it is a cool idea to have like two controllers in one. Pretty much, that's what the N64 is all about.
It was Super Nintendo that started us out with the triggers.
Yep.
The top triggers on the controllers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say N64.
Okay,
I miss that era of gaming where everyone was just trying to innovate.
Yeah, I know. Everybody was trying to move forward, and now Nintendo seems like the only people to actually be doing that. But how did you hold that N64 controller? Did you hold it from the middle and the right, or did you hold it wide arm style?
I hold middle and right during like GoldenEye and stuff like that where I had to use the stick.
Okay.
But if I had to do D-pad or if I was playing like Mario, which I could use either or.
Yeah.
Mario, I would use the stick.
Okay.
Then I would the D-pad, but then like if it was just be like a standard Xbox setup.
I don't remember having to hold it with like my one hand on the way right and my other hand on the other left. Like, I never held it like that. I never once did.
I think when I was a kid, I was just dumb and tried to hold it like a normal controller, and then I tried to extend my thumbs all the way down to try to move the stick.
Yeah, and you can't forget the Z button behind the whole thing.
I'm like, this controller sucks. How do I hit this button on the back?
It do be a little wonky, but let's get into IGN's list. First off, we're going to talk about a controller that we talked about yesterday whenever we were comparing the new VR headset for the Sony. We're talking about the Nintendo Wiimote. How did you guys feel about this thing? Because, I mean, it was new for its time. It was definitely ahead of its time. But let me know how you guys feel about it.
Honestly, for being one of the first full just motion control.
Yeah.
Man, what am I? Peripheral.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. For being one of the very, just motion control sensor peripherals, it worked well.
Yeah, I will say. It definitely worked better than the Kinect, which I'm surprised the Kinect hand isn't on this, because the Kinect hand, I mean, just using your hand as the controller, it worked all right, but it wasn't as good as the Nintendo Wiimote using infrared and all that stuff. But it's definitely a solid controller, and I know Smokey's got a few things to say about it, but we're going to go on to the next one, which is number 9, the SNES and the Super Famicom controller. Now, this one, to me, it's an older one. You know, I didn't really get to play too much of the NES or SNES and stuff like that. I do think it felt a lot more comfortable than the NES because it wasn't so sharp. But at the end of the day, I mean, it is just an ancient controller at this moment, at this point. And if you try to compare it to any other thing, it's kind of difficult. But I will say it is quite the solid controller for what they had at the time. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a D-pad, 2 buttons, and the L and R triggers. But I mean, it's set the groundwork for what we got today.
Yeah, and then moving on, number 8. This one, really cool. I never actually had one, but I know I had something similar to it because we were talking about it just a second ago, the Nintendo GameCube Wavebird controller. Now, the difference between the Wavebird and the normal Nintendo GameCube controller is the Wavebird is cordless. That means literally just, I mean, it's a battery pack. It was actually very ahead of its time. I thought it was super cool. Did you ever play with the Wavebird, or were you just you did that?
That's how me and my siblings played all the time.
That's awesome.
You have a little ports where you would plug it into the controller port, and then there's a little scroll wheel on the bottom, and you would pick the port to where it would connect to.
Wow. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So it's like if you wanted to be, so if you want to be player 1, for instance, but I mean you didn't have your port as 1, you could put the slot in controller slot 1.
Yeah.
I'm saying slort.
Slort.
In controller slot 1, set the port to 3 and your controller to 3 because it had the same wheel, and then you're good to go.
Okay.
It was so simple and, like you said, ahead of its time.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And the GameCube controller, I will say, because I didn't say which was my favorite, I have to say it is definitely top 3. I didn't play too much GameCube to where I really needed to learn how to use it too much. But for the games that I did use it with, I thought it was spectacular. I thought it's just so comfortable in your hands. The way your fingers just meet on the triggers and the bumpers and stuff like that. It really was. And the grooves and everything, it fit perfectly. But we're going to move on to number 7, which is the Xbox 360 controller.
Classic.
Going back to it after using the Xbox One controller, it feels small. It feels awkward. The battery pack is gigantic. It is a classic, I will say, but feeling like going back to it instantly, the first thing I thought of was my fingers barely fit in the grooves behind the controller because the battery pack is right there. So I felt like it was more of a little toy instead of a controller, but a solid one. I know you guys got some experience with it. Bandi, did you played with the Xbox 360 or did you just go straight to the Xbox One?
Yeah, I played on my brother's Xbox 360 a handful of times, but yeah, you're right. It's like, how do my hands fit on this thing? It's like, how did we play Call of Duty and Halo for so long?
I know. It gave me cramps. Exactly. It gave me cramps. But I know, Smokey, how do you feel about the Xbox 360 controller?
Better than the OG Xbox controller.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, if we're talking about the Duke, then definitely.
So, I mean, the main thing was that it was improvement. It wasn't the ultimate improvement, but it was improvement.
Yeah.
Which, if it's always better to progress than to regress.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree. Okay, now moving on to one that was progress. Number 6, the Nintendo Switch Pro controllers. This is, it's a nice little alternative to having just the Joy-Cons and stuff because they can get a little awkward, a little small at times. And if you want to play some Smash Bros. And you don't want to get a GameCube controller for the Nintendo Switch, which I don't know why you wouldn't, go for this Pro controller because it fits in your hand just like kind of an Xbox controller would, and it kind of just has the same feel as it. It feels like a little bit bigger, but at the end, it is just a normal controller that you've experienced before with other consoles, just in the form of a Nintendo controller now. It's solid. It's a solid choice. But now we're going to move on to number 5. We're getting a little bit crazy here because we're talking about the PS5 DualSense controller that I haven't even touched. I haven't even seen in real life.
I have.
Oh, yeah? Tell us your opinions on it.
I like it very much so.
Yeah.
I like
it. I played it at Joe's house.
Heck yeah, dude. The presentation of this thing, just like looking at it, it is very sleek. I mean, I will say very futuristic. It's beautiful. It's got the cool touchpad. It's got all that the dual sense now. It's not just dual shock, but it's dual sense. So I think it just spews out smells at you too. No, I don't think it does that, but it does other things. And I will say, it's the one really good thing about Sony is their controllers are very innovative. And they continue to be just moving forward, and I like that because Xbox right now, it's not okay. They kind of found the sweet spot right now, but it's not bad. Now number 4 is a little bit of a strange one. Some of you guys might not know about it, but it's the Xbox Adaptive Controller, and this one's for players that they might have some disabilities and they're not able to hold the normal controller like they are, or they might have one hand, and they might be they might be a little limited on a normal controller, but this is more like a pad, like a controller pad that you can kind of adjust to your liking. So for people who have disabilities, I say this is stellar. I think this is a great idea by Microsoft. It's great for a consumer point of view, and I think it's stellar. I've never had to play with it though.
Okay, I got a good story about this controller.
Okay.
There's actually a pro fighting game player who uses this controller.
Really?
And he has a disability, but he kind of he's in a wheelchair and the controller's up here, and he actually plays with his face.
Okay. See, there you go. It's adaptive.
Yeah, and he's one of the best players.
That's awesome. I'm very
and a really cool dude.
I was very happy to see them bring this in a few years ago. I mean, it was tending to people who might not be able to play as many video games as others, and I think it's good to get that little bit of appreciation for everybody. Number 3, we're in the top 3 now. We're gonna speed through these last few. The DualShock 4. Now this is the PlayStation 4's controller. Spectacular controller. This is when they started using the little touchpad on the top and they started really going hard. I hated the feeling of this controller though. I didn't like it. It was long. It was weird feeling. It did not feel like an Xbox controller at all. It's actually probably my least favorite PlayStation controller. So that's what I'm gonna say to that about that. I did not like the way it fit in my hands. Okay, maybe I don't know. Just it wasn't good, okay? I like the wonkier PS3 version of the controller. Moving on, number 2, we got a interesting controller right here, the Astro C40 TR4. Now this is I think it's a PlayStation controller. This one's more in the likes of it's more in the style of the Xbox controller again. It still has the touchpad. It has you can change around the buttons and all that stuff, and the joysticks and all that stuff. So this one, if I was gonna play PlayStation, I would get because it's more Xbox. It would be more comfortable in my hands, and it's stellar, and you can customize pretty much everything about it. So that is a good little thing. It does run you a little bit of money. I don't know exactly how much, but I know that. And then number 1, we finally got to it, the Xbox Series Elite 2, which, again, just like the Xbox controllers nowadays, they fit perfectly in your hands. They do what they got to do. They're controllers, but this one, it's another one where you can readjust all the buttons, all the things. You can do weird stuff with the sticks. You can lower it. You can tighten them. You can make the triggers tight as well. It's a spectacular controller. And I may have heard things about it breaking very quickly after you get it. But I don't know. It's a great controller. I've never had to get one, but from what I've seen, people have a great time with it. But that's my list, guys. It was my Friday. Thank you for having me on the show. We're gonna go over to our last segment, and that'll be the DF3 with the Smokey Mike Honcho. Don't touch that knob. You're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on 2 services you need at the same time. and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
Venus, you're listening to the Afternoon Blitz final segment. Venus disease. Bandi, I'm sorry, man, but that spot kills me all the time.
It's all right. I got you.
But hey, you know, it's something that's memorable, which is always what we are looking for with our commercial breaks.
Venus
and
care.
Commercial spot. Venus disease, yes.
I hear some Mario sounds. Some Mario sounds are going on. Something like that. It was more like him going down the drain. All right, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the DF3.
You know what the hell?
Trouble.
We're going to not do a DF3. We're going to do a DF6.
Let's go.
Because I'm giving you the lineup that I'm putting into the Steelers game tonight. The Steelers and the Browns. Bandi, you got your Amazon Prime and your Bacardi Spice that you can enter in as a free pool. Go on and hopefully win you a little bit of more cash.
Because I didn't win anything last time.
Well, I mean, those free ones are difficult because you're getting pools of like 50,000 and only the top 200 get paid or something.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway, so I put $1 in this. Pool is $125,000. So anyway, here's where I'm going. I've got the Browns defense. I've got Jacoby Brissett.
Ooh.
I've got Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Okay, good for those long balls.
That's all the Browns I've got.
You didn't get Amari Cooper?
No.
No. Okay.
Because I've got Deontay Johnson.
Okay, yeah.
I got a feeling he's going to do something. Browns, I'm really hoping is a big-time score, a touchdown score. That's what Najee, I'm going with as well. And then my captain, the one who is getting a 1.5 multiplier. I can't believe I did this. But I don't think it'll be a Kenny Pickett time because I have Mitchell Trubisky as my multiplier.
Hey.
So let's hope that you don't mess up on that one.
I can't believe I did that. I can't believe it.
Hey,
But
I will
you-
say though, I have the Browns defense tonight on my fantasy, as well as Amari Cooper and Deontay Johnson. So we're running hot tonight.
I've got Najee on my team, so hopefully he can finally do something.
Anyway, Captain Cool is out. He's
Sweet.
Going to be spaceballing it up to Nashville.
Yes, sir.
By the way, don't check your Twitter.
And please watch that movie if you haven't seen it.
Yes. So it'll be me and Bandi tomorrow for a fun Friday. Bandi, you better be ready for what's cool.
Oh, I got it.
Anyway, so for Captain Cool, for Bandi, I'm Smokey. Y'all have yourselves a good night, and we'll see you in 22 hours.
See?
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner,
55, that it was easier to see the ball in night games and that pitching was watered down. Watered down? The Babe never had to face any of the great black players of his time since the league was segregated. But the biggest bastardization of the game came in the steroid era. Numbers like 66, 70, and 73 in single seasons, and Barry Bonds' phony 762 home runs. And now, more than ever, the evidence is clear since the individual home run totals have come way down, except for one guy. One humble, gentle giant of a man who is now over 60, with no one else barely over 40.
Listen for Tom Abraham throughout the day on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Attorney Tommy Sinyard on behalf of Sinyard Law, and again proud to be a sponsor of all things football here on ESPN Radio. My son Bart and I started our own law firm July 1 and are very proud and excited to be bringing you our 50 years of collective national award-winning injury trial law experience. Check us out on the web, sinyardlaw.com.
Sinyard Law, nationally recognized, locally respected.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, "If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself."
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. We're still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. Alabama! Your home of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. This hour on the Paul Feinbaum Show is brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, located online at FlemingHSV.com.
The best local sports talk with the best in college football. A perfect combination. Hi, this is Chris Stewart. Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
On the Feinbaum Show, Paul's on the roll. If he don't get the best of me, Paul. He'll make sense of it all. What's going on, Feinbaum? Kneeling's up on Rocky Top. The Razorbacks are hard to stop. War Eagles soaring in the wind. Let me talk, Danny. Okay, go. Tigers rocking in Missoula. Wildcats are grinning too. Talk up now, the tide is rolling in. The weekend's full of surprises, from big upsets to robberies. On the farm I'm sure heads are gonna roll if they don't get the best of me. We'll call Paul, yeah, make sense of it all. Yeah, call Paul.
Don't take those calls. I could give you my address and phone number if you're ever in this neck of the woods.
This is the Paul Feinbaum Show. It's not Jerry Springer, right?
And welcome back here midway through the Thursday afternoon program. Let's check in with Will, who is in Alabama. Hello, Will.
Good afternoon, Paul.
Hey there.
Hey, I think I have a pretty good suggestion, and I know America would love it, and I know for certain that the Florida faithful would enjoy it if you were the celebrity guest picker in Knoxville on Saturday.
I came close to it once. I think I've told this before, my first year at ESPN, the network that we're on now had not begun, so I traveled with Game Day, and we were in California for I think it was Stanford Southern Cal, and Friday night, the Game Day, I can't remember, it was a big actor. He canceled, and they literally did not have anyone. And we were sitting around, and they kind of looked around like, "Do you want to do it?" And I go, "No, I'm a rookie. I'm not doing it." And I think the Bear ended up doing it, and it was pretty forgettable. But I don't think I could. I don't think I could handle the Florida or Tennessee fans.
Well, I mean, they've been talking. Like I heard the guys on SEC this morning, earlier this week. They were trying to figure it out, like. And they were asking around for notable alumni from Tennessee that could actually do it. And you immediately came to mind. So, like, I don't know.
We had Reese Davis on the other day, and he said the last time they were there in 2016, they had Spurrier and Philip Fulmer. I'm pretty sure Peyton has done it a couple of times. Now, he did not acknowledge this, but I had heard this pretty reliably. They wanted Dolly Parton to do it. And apparently she was not able to get there. So, the problem is, there are a lot of country singers who have Tennessee ties. So I don't know how tough it would be to dip into Nashville. And, Luke Combs flew from, I think, Wisconsin to Boone the other day. So Game Day will never have a problem getting somebody to the event.
Yeah, that's true. Well, are y'all going to be in Knoxville on Saturday too, or are y'all somewhere?
No, we're
else?
going to be in Arlington. I think we have another visit to Knoxville. There were two big games, and Game Day was going to choose one, and whichever one, and we would take the other. So I think you can pretty well figure out what the other one is.
Yeah. And then one more thing, Paul. Coming into the season, you and everybody else, we all just kind of thought that Alabama was going to run away with the SEC West. And at this point in the season, I'm a big Ole Miss fan. And I think, to me, the West is more wide open than people could have anticipated. And I don't know what you think, but, we have Kentucky in 2 weeks.
That is probably a game that I don't think anybody has thought about yet, but it's very possible that Kentucky Ole Miss is going to be a critical game in the SEC. That game is next week. Everyone's already talking Arkansas, Alabama, but let's see what happens in Arlington Saturday night. Hey, thanks for the call. I-Man, who I'm sure, have you ever been the guest picker, I-Man?
Oh, no, but I've been a guest on your show.
You have been a guest on our show.
Which is actually better than being a guest picker.
It has more lasting meaning.
Yes, it does. Paul, I was on hold, and your music comes on, and my 3-year-old granddaughter, she'd never heard the music on the phone, and she comes up and says, that's Feinbaum. That's Feinbaum. Mommy, that's Feinbaum.
That's great.
And sometimes I'll have an Aubrey shirt on, and she's got her little Aubrey shirt on, and she'll come in and say, I got on my Feinbaum shirt, and you got on your Feinbaum shirt. But
she sounds like a smart girl.
She can. Oh yeah, and let me tell you how smart she really is. She heard Jim's call and she looked at the TV with her hands on her hips and said, "Are you crazy?" I just had to stand back and admire it. But you know, Paul, that little segment you had with Jim, I didn't hear any other calls. He's called 2 or 3 times today. But whatever therapy and drugs they gave him would save marriages all around this world. And just what aisle in the drugstore is them ass-kissing drugs on? Have a good day.
Let's go to Rob in New Jersey. Hey, Rob.
Paul, how's it going? It's Wedding Rob.
Rob, so when's the big day?
9 days away, Paul. Saturday, October 1st. So
oh my goodness. I still haven't ruled it out yet. Now you're up in where? New Jersey?
New Jersey, and here's the thing, Paul. So Marty Smith ran into him over the summer. He spends his summers about 5 minutes away from where our reception place is.
Now hold on a second. Marty Smith has a summer home on the
New Jersey shore? Ocean City, New Jersey. He's a big fan. I ran into him on the boardwalk.
I mean, I've got a chair outside in my backyard that I sit on in the summer, and Marty Smith going to the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you have a place on the Jersey Shore or Wilmington or? Man, obviously I'm doing the wrong. I'm working at the wrong place. I need to work where Marty's working.
Well, I think you should tell him when you're together on SEC Nation. Say, hey, we can hop on the jet and go down and crash at your place.
Man, I didn't realize Marty's got. I'm dumbfounded. Anyway, so you're getting married on the shore, is that right?
Yeah, 9 days out. So I thought, you know what, next week's going to be a little busy.
Okay, so what time? No, you're getting married on Saturday, right?
Saturday at 1 o'clock.
Ooh, that's going to be really tough. I'm going to have to borrow somebody's plane to get there in time. Because I am not going to be anywhere near New Jersey next Saturday.
No worries. I thought, let me call Paul and see what advice he has for my fiance and I as we enter marriage.
Okay, well, how long have you known each other?
We've been dating for 6 years.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Is there any reason why now? That was a gentle way of asking you.
Yeah, just time. You know, okay. Always had the intention, but thought I'd give it a good runway.
Well, I mean, I feel pretty comfortable. I mean, maybe there are bigger or greater experts out there. I've been married more than 30 years. I've only been married once, and I think. I mean, I'll skip the basics. I mean, you know all that, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's always these cliches that you hear from people. You know, you talk to somebody that's been married. What's the secret to 70 years of marriage? Wow, just nodding your head and saying, yes, ma'am. There's more to it than that. But not much more to it than that.
Now, how long have you and your wife been married, Paul?
We've been married 33 years.
Wow.
I got married. We married when I was 16.
Did you ever watch the show, or is she a big football fan?
My wife thinks I'm a lawyer. I mean, I get a briefcase every morning. I walk out of the house, and then she said, "How was your day?" I said, "Man, we had this big trial," and she has no idea what I do.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about it before. She's in the medical field, right, Paul?
Yeah, she's a physician. So, I mean, fortunately, she's tied up with with life or death. She doesn't have to worry. So I've been able to, for all these years, I've been able to keep my career from her.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, we'll be thinking about you on the first. Hopefully, you're thinking about us. And
okay, so you get married at 1 o'clock. How long will this go on? Because I could get there maybe by late afternoon.
About an hour, and then we have the reception's at 5 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Well, I can make the reception
until they kick us out.
Yeah. What's the reception? What's going to happen at the reception?
We'll cut a cake and check some football scores and have a good time.
Do you need any entertainment? I can probably bring.
Yeah, I'd love to have you.
Okay, I'll see if I can. I can get there by late afternoon because it's going to be complicated because I'm going to be in the middle of not middle of nowhere, but that's kind of any place in the SEC, isn't it? You're not exactly in large metropolitan cities usually.
Hey, maybe I'll give Legend a call in the morning and take the edge off if I'm nervous in the church or anything.
Hey, by the way, anybody else? Is there any other callers you'd like me to bring? As long as we're chartering a plane.
That's a good question. Who would your +1 be?
Well, since I can't bring my wife, since I don't want her to know that I know you through this show, that would ruin the whole thing. I tell you what, you think about it, and we'll go to work on it here on the show. Hey, thanks for the call. Congratulations, and we'll talk to you next week. We are back with, how about Mike Griffith? Maybe we could send Griff to the wedding. He's up next. The Paul Feinbaum Show is presented by Regions Bank.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You're not required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-218-5757. 800-218-5757. That's 800-218-5757.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
Hello, this is Kerry Rosenblum, Rosenblum Realty, and we're part of that MA family. It's great to see football season back in. And, we're at Rosenblum Realty trying to take care of all your real estate needs, whether home buying or selling. We'd like for you to put our 64 years of experience to work for you. We have 4-generation family ownership and, again, take a personal touch to taking care of your real estate needs. Call us at 256-539-9501 or rosenblumrealty.com.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Two Maids and a Mop. That's all you need to know to clean house. Two Maids and a Mop is an award-winning company, bonded and insured. Hire them for yourself, or they have gift cards if you want to make someone else's day. Find out more online at twomaidshuntsville.com. A maid service worth talking about. Two Maids and a Mop take care of everything. They supply all the cleaning equipment needed. Call 256-883-6243. The only finger you'll need to lift is the one to call them.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this first day of fall, expect plenty of sunshine. Temperatures not going to be feeling very fall-like, though. Lower 90s is expected for the afternoon. We could see gusty winds as high as 25 miles per hour as a frontal boundary moves through. For your Thursday night, mostly clear, low temperatures falling into the mid and upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the Alabama Crimson Tide to the Atlanta Braves, we are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The Paul Feinbaum Show is presented by Regions Bank. So we are back, all ready to talk about the number one team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs. So we bring in our man, Mike Griffith. Griff, thank you for joining us on this story. And you're in, that looks like Neyland Stadium to me. What are you doing? Did Kirby give you a pass to get out of town and go watch the Vols? What's going on here?
Yeah, well, you got to kind of look out and see who might challenge Georgia in these. I don't think it's going to be Kent State. I mean, they play the Golden Flashes and another Mid-American Conference school about to get exposed in non-conference action down there at Sanford Stadium in a noon kickoff. So he said, you know what? Let's see what's going on at Tennessee. It looks like Josh Heupel's built some momentum. I know the College Game Day set's going to be here. First time in, 6 years?
6 years.
Game Day has been in Knoxville, so... Billy Napier, holding on for dear life, trying to prove the win over Utah wasn't a fluke. Looks like a pretty good battle coming up here Saturday, Paul.
Yeah, so let me ask you, because you've been talking about Billy Napier for quite a while, and none of it very kind. How do you assess